In this video, I'll give you all the most important tips you need to know about traveling to Las Vegas. It's an incredible destination, but there are many things you need to pay attention to in order to avoid many unforeseen events that tourists experience, and important tips for making the most of your trip, guys. So don't forget to give us a like here, that's very important for us. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and buckle up. Hey guys, for those who don't know me, I'm Gabriel Lorenzi, creator of the Grupo Dicas, the largest travel content network in the world. And today we're gonna talk about Las Vegas and the main travel tips you shouldn't miss before traveling there. We've been to Vegas 4 times now, a month and a half ago, so we know a lot of up-to-date tips because a lot changes, guys. That's the first important Las Vegas tip. Every month a new show opens, a new restaurant, a new nightclub. Things change, they're in full swing there at all times of the year. Do your research, always keep up to date, and look at new content because, guys, things really do change a lot and very fast. So come on guys, the first tip, which I think is the most important to have to know, is when to go to Vegas. What are the times of the year? For those who don't know, Las Vegas is in the middle of the desert. It's a desert, guys. You look around your hotel, if you're in a tall hotel room, you see the desert all around you. And what does that influence? In the mood. Summer there, which is July, August. We're in August now, here in Orlando, and it's hot there, guys. Very hot. It's one of the biggest we've ever seen and there it's even bigger. The thermal sensation there is greater, so there are days when you have to be alert and careful. You can't walk around on the street too much because people are getting sick. So July and August is the intense summer there. Be aware if you want to spend the heat. If you just want to enjoy the air-conditioned hotels, that's fine. But if you want to go sightseeing, walking along the strip, which is the main avenue in Vegas, it's a bit tricky. So my tip, if you haven't set a date yet, avoid July and August, and also avoid winter, which is December, January, and early February, because it's very cold. It's in the middle of the desert. With being in December, you have to go clubbing in a coat. For the shows, wear a long coat because it's very cold at night. So those are the months you should avoid. If you can make it, guys, from March when it starts to warm up again until June, from September to November, I think these are the best times to be able to enjoy yourself there. Besides July is summer, July and August are more crowded and everything will be a bit more expensive. It's a time when it's a bit more expensive. Winter is a bit cheaper because people don't travel there as much in December, January and February, which are the cold months in Las Vegas, guys. Another very important tip, especially now that we've gone this last time, guys, is Las Vegas is the Las Vegas Strip. It's a gigantic avenue, the one you're looking at, which concentrates 90% of the tourist attractions you're likely to visit. So the tip is stay on the strip. There are a lot of people who find the hotels very nice, beautiful, and cheaper because they're far away. They're blocks away from the strip, and people end up renting them to save money. But you'll be spending a lot of money and time getting around the strip, so your time is valuable because you're spending to be there. You're going to have to pay for Uber. Uber is sometimes a bit expensive, so try to focus on the hotels on the strip. This strip is huge. There are lots of hotels. I'm going to leave a personalized map that we made here to help you. Take a look. Click on the map, open it. It's a very good region. If you stay within that region, guys, it's perfect. You'll be in a very good location. You'll be able to do almost everything on foot. What you don't do on foot, you'll do by Uber. It's quicker and they're short distances. And also the hotels we've stayed in, there are very cheap hotels and there are more expensive ones. So take a look. It's all here in the video description for you. Take a look and you get very good hosting, and that makes a lot of difference. Last time we stayed at the area, which is also a beautiful hotel. Take a look at the links here. It's very centrally located, so if you're staying there more or less near the Bellagio, use the Bellagio as a reference point. It's right in the middle of the main attractions, so if you're staying somewhere close, a 10-minute or 15-minute walk from the Bellagio is sensational, and you'll be able to enjoy your trip much more and spend less on getting around, commuting, Uber, cabs. It works very well. Another important tip for getting around is what we've noticed has changed. Cabs, guys, are a little more expensive than they used to be, and there weren't any. We'd leave the hotels, there were no cabs available. I don't know why, if the demand is very high. We were going to be waiting for a long time, so the tip is use Uber. Use and abuse Uber. As in your room beforehand, plan ahead. Sometimes you want to go out at 7, there's a show at 7:30. Plan for 7 o'clock because Uber is cheaper than a cab, and you don't have to worry about getting off, being late, and not being able to get there at the time because there's no cab available. Uber ended up helping a lot. For those in cars, it's much easier. You can get around. The entire Grande Hotel Casino has its own parking lot, some of which are paid and some of which are free, but the car also works very well in Las Vegas. Another important tip, which is what we experienced the first time, is that everything there is very big. Why am I explaining this? Because we look sometimes on a map or right there, we were here. Look at the hotel on the other side of the strip. Shall we go and see it? Guys, it looks close, the view is deceiving, and so is the map, Google Maps and Waze, because when you start walking, just to cross the strip is a very long walk. You walk a lot. So just make a plan and divide it up by region. I thought this was fundamental. It made us enjoy the trip much more. In one day you can visit the hotels further down the hill. There's the Luxor, the hotel in the pyramid, which is beautiful inside. There is the Excalibur Hotel, which is castle theme, and there's the MGM Hotel opposite, which is beautiful. These hotels are cheaper, nice to stay in, and well located, and each of them, the hotels are themed. So inside you spend about 3 hours inside each one to fully explore. There are themed restaurants. Each one has 15 restaurants. There are lots of cool things to do, shows, nightclubs. There's an amusement park in every hotel, so set aside a day to visit 3 or 4 of them. It's really worth it. My favorites are the ones in the middle, the Bellagio and the Caesar Palace, right next to each other. It's an incredible, sensational tour. Don't miss it. Set aside a whole night just to explore them. Caesar Palace has a gigantic shopping mall, the Forum Shops, which is gigantic. You walk to the back and it's all themed around Italy, Caesar's time. It's very cool, very Rome. And the Bellagio, it's the most famous. It's very iconic in the movies. It has the dancing water show in front, which is free. You can watch it every 30, 25 and 20 minutes. It takes place during the night. It's the most beautiful thing in Vegas. And there's a garden inside the hotel when you enter, which is also spectacular. There are a lot of attractions, so there are several hotels. So do your research, guys, and plan ahead. Just don't put too many in your plans, because then you will have to move fast. You won't get to know some of them and you will be a bit frustrated in the end. Another important tip, guys, restaurants. Let's go. There are all kinds of restaurants in Vegas. There are the fast foods of life. You can find McDonald's, Pizza Hut. Inside the hotels, there are these fast foods, and there are also the more luxurious restaurants. There are those restaurants that you have to book, which will be a bit more expensive. There are all kinds. Vegas is very eclectic. You can go to cheap places for people who want to save money, and you can do mega luxury things, which is for people with money. So the tip I give you is to look in almost all the big hotels. There's what's called the food court, which is the food court in the hotels. It's like a food court in a shopping mall with really nice, tasty, and cheap restaurants. Wait there for $20, $15. These are hamburgers, Japanese, Chinese, pasta. There are a lot of nice things, so take a look. The one we stayed in at the area was very tasty, as it was the one next door, the Cosmopolitan. So if you pass by, look for the food court there. It's not expensive, it's super fast. You get it, you sit down at the table, and it's very tasty. We felt that these restaurants were well worth the cost. It was very cool. And now talking about the internet, guys, we need to use our cell phones a lot there. So go with a working SIM card or your international roaming to use the internet a lot, because we use it all the time to check the timetable of attractions, to look at the map inside the hotel. We got lost in the hotel, and Google Maps allows you to see the stores, restaurants, shows, attractions, which helped us a lot on our trip. The cheapest way today, which we always recommend, is an international prepaid SIM card. It's a travel SIM card that you buy and use only during your trip. It's much cheaper than using your operator's international roaming. It's much cheaper. It's super easy. They send you the eSIM. It's a virtual card. You install it using a QR code that they send you by email the same day. It's super easy, the internet is good, it's cheap, you won't have any unforeseen problems. You arrive and you already have the internet to get an Uber from the airport. You won't have that problem of staying there because a lot of people stay and don't think about it beforehand. Everything is going to be here in the description of the video for you. Another cool tip, guys, which I'll also leave the link to below now that I've mentioned it, is the tours. There are a lot of great things to do in Vegas, but sometimes people don't explore them as much. But check them out because there are some really cool things to do. There's a very good website. I'll leave it here in the description. Take a look because it has all the tours. All the Cirque du Soleil shows are incredible, so try to visit at least one Cirque du Soleil show. It's worth it. There's the Michael Jackson one, which is a tribute to Michael Jackson. There's the Beatles one. There is the O, which is the most famous of all, the most sought after and the most expensive. Obviously, it's all water themed, but the shows are incredible and it's worth trying to go to at least one. Take a look at the website, which has the cheapest Cirque du Soleil tickets, as well as the Grand Canyon tour, which is an incredible experience. There is also the helicopter tour of Vegas, which is worthwhile. There is lots of stuff for you to do. Now, the Grand Canyon tip. Many people talk about it. Gabriel, it's worth going, isn't it? There are people who go and are disappointed. How boring, what a frustration. It depends. You have to be very clear in your head that you're going to spend 4 or 5 hours a day getting there. The tours the agencies do take you about that long. It usually stops at Rubber Dam, which is that gigantic historic dam, which is a great to see. And then it's off to the Grand Canyon National Park. In my opinion, the first time we went, we didn't do it. And why? We went to see Vegas. It was my dream to see Vegas, and we didn't have the money or the time. We spent 5 days there, and I wanted to make the most of the days to get to know the city, the hotels, and the parties. For me, the intention of the trip was super cool. The second time we went, I went to see the Grand Canyon, and I thought it was spectacular. If you want to walk around and see different things, I think you have to put it in your itinerary. Is it tiring? Yes. It's a 4-hour bus ride, but you can sleep in the morning because they wake early. You take the bus at 6, and it's beautiful. It's a spectacular ride, a spectacular place, unlike anything I've seen. It's not expensive. I think it's a worthwhile experience if you have the days available. If you have 5 or 6 more days, it's worth it. If you have less, look at your priorities, see what you want to do. But it's a beautiful and worthwhile walk. It's super enjoyable. It only takes a little while to get there, so it is really tiring. Talking about parties and clubs, mistakes people make. At the main clubs, you need to put your name on the list. You have to put it in there somehow. Sometimes you can find a promoter on the website by searching. You need someone to take you in, at least on the main ones, or arrive very early. And in Vegas, you have to organize yourself. You don't go with someone who's helping you there, a promoter, someone who knows the club. You have to wear shoes. Don't wear sneakers, jeans, or dress, pants, shirts. You have to be dressed up. The women also have to be tidy because they are very strict, similar to Miami. If you have someone who's already there helping you, a promoter, then it's easier. You go in a bit more relaxed. He has a very good acquaintance there who does the tours. He makes all the nightclub reservations, the main beach clubs, the pool parties. He does everything. We went, we had a really nice experience with him. Now I'll leave it here in the description, so take a look, talk to him, guys. It does all of this. It doesn't make you queue for an hour at the nightclubs. You enter through the back, you book a box, table service. It's expensive, it's not cheap, but it's worth it for anyone who wants to have this experience. If you're with someone you know, it's a different story. They get the best table, the bottle, and explain how it works. You can get in without queuing. There's no problem at the entrance. We really like it, especially if you're in a larger group. It's really cool, and it's worth getting the cabins or a bungalow at a pool party. It's cool, and it's totally worth, guys, because you can really experience a real party in Las Vegas. If you want to see Las Vegas in more depth, Lee and I have just returned from there. We stayed for 3 days. We went without the girls, without our daughters. It was the first trip we'd made without them. We went to renew our 10 years of marriage. We got married in Las Vegas. It's another nice trip if you want to do it. It's not expensive. It's cheap. It's more of a celebration, not a real wedding, but a party, a celebration. Take a look. Go to Familia Lorenzi, which is our other channel where we show our life here, our travels. It's very cool. Enter the Lorenzi family and type Vegas wedding or type in Vegas Lorenzi wedding on YouTube. It'll be there soon. We had a very nice trip and we showed you the service of this partner. The limousine tour of the city is very cool, and there are lots of great things to do and see in Las Vegas. We really love it there. Another tip to avoid trouble, and it's cheap, is international travel insurance. For those who don't know, when you leave the country, you have the option of taking out travel insurance, which covers you against various costs you may incur abroad. Cost of medical assistance, dental care, lost luggage, many situations. A doctor's appointment there, guys, it's at least $500, $600. A hospitalization then over $10,000, okay? It's really expensive, and the insurance covers you for all this, and it's cheap. To give you an idea, the last one we took out for 7 days cost $17 per person, but it's on a website that we know it's very cheap. We've been using it for 2 or 3 years now. I'll leave it here in the description too. Take a look. It's a comparator, just like the car. You compare the price with all the insurers and it shows you much cheaper prices, and it's usually half the price of the same insurance in the travel agencies themselves, because you're going direct to the source. It's really the insurance's cost price, so take a look. It's very good. I'll leave it here too, but don't travel without one. And one tip you can't miss, which unfortunately we didn't get to see because it opened this week, is the big sphere. It's Las Vegas Sphere. They've made the world's largest LED billboard in the shape of a sphere. It's a surreal business. It's been under construction for 2 years, and around it go projections. It's an inexplicable thing, and inside it's going to be a concert hall, which also has an interactive panel inside, and it's going to be a very cool experience. If you go there, try to catch a show or at least pass by to see it, because it really does look something like from other world, guys. It's amazing. And that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you like it, please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel, because it really helps us a lot. And don't forget to check out the other Vegas videos, which are very good. Here are the 2 main ones for you to watch and have the best possible experience in Las Vegas. So thank you very much, guys, and have nice trips.